Hi tween fans! Glitter Becca is here again, and today is very exciting because I'm going to teach you how to be a cartoonist and make your own comic books. I loved to make comic books as a kid, so we're going to talk about how we can create stories and how we can turn them into a comic book. So let's get started. So before you even begin constructing your comic book, you're gonna have to do a little bit of preparation to make sure that you're telling the story that you want to tell. So for components of a comic book, you're going to need a main character. Your main character could be a superhero, or they could be a kid just like you, or they could be, I don't know, a beach ball. It could be literally anything. You can give anything eyes, it all works. If you are doing a superhero story, you also need a villain or someone to be the enemy of your superhero. You need supporting characters. You could have your character have a sidekick. So I'm gonna show you how I did a superhero story. And so my superhero had a sidekick, which meant someone that was kind of like a helper to the superhero. But if you're not doing a superhero story, you can just have any supporting characters that you want. Pause the video right now and write down some ideas, do a little brainstorming session of some of these characters that you could have, starting with your main character. All right, so now that you have your characters sort of figured out, you're going to need a setting. A setting is where your story takes place. So does it take place at a supermarket? Does it take place in the woods? Or it could just take place in California or an entire state, and they could go to lots of different places. Now, every comic book and story in general has a plot. This means that you need to have a problem that your main character has to solve. In a superhero story, you can have your villain create a problem for the main character to solve, so then they can go and try to fix that problem. By the end of the story, you'll want to have some sort of resolution of how your problem is now fixed. So pause again, take a moment to write down all of your information or think about it, and when you think you have it all kind of figured out, let's get into how to actually construct our comic books. To help your readers, you can make littler boxes and use them as headings to explain your setting or what's happening that day, and then they have a better idea of what's happening in your story. Don't forget to add lots of speech bubbles, lots of big sounds. That's the fun part of a comic book. So there you have it. That's how you can make your very own comic book story. I just know that you're gonna be the coolest cartoonist ever. And if you make one, make sure to tag us because I really wanna read them. I love reading comic books. So, what will you write about? All right, bye guys, have fun.